Welcome to the Awareness Podcast. In today's episode, we had the chance to speak with Matteo Tardini. Matteo is a head coach of Ahli Academy in Dubai. Yes, an Egyptian teen academy in Dubai. And we'll speak more about this in the podcast, in which Matteo talks about the academy model in Dubai and how big teams like Real Madrid, PSG, Man City have their academies in Dubai in order to look for talent. Apart from that, we also talk about how young soccer players should train, not only outside the field but also inside the field. So in both areas. So if you're a young soccer player that doesn't know how to train because of your age, because of your abilities, because of what you want to develop, because of your equipment, then this episode is perfect for you because we go into all of that. This will give you a whole idea on how to train depending on the specific variables that you have. I hope you guys enjoy.
Welcome to a new episode of the Awareness Podcast. Today we're here with our guest, Matteo Tardini. Thank you very much for being with us and introduce yourself to the people.
Thank you, guys. I'm Matteo Tardini. I'm 27 years old. I'm from 1998. I'm a fitness coach and a UEFA B coach. Actually, I'm working as head coach in Ahli Academy in United Arab Emirates. I always liked sport in general, obviously, mainly football or soccer. It was my main interest. So I started to study at the university. I have a master's degree in sports science. After the university years, I attended Italian Football Federation courses. So I obtained the UEFA B license and professional fitness coach license that allows me to work as a fitness coach in Division One, even in Serie A. I worked for some years in Italy, in Rome. I'm from Rome, and also in Turin. And since last August, I have been head coach here in Al Academy in Dubai.
Amazing. A little bit of experience coming from a country as well that the main thing is football, right? I think it's no secret that Italians breathe football. Coming to a country where it's kind of like emerging a little bit more. And Matteo, just to start off, what got you into football from the young age? Like, what made you start studying sports science and then kind of like go that path of football and fitness development?
As you can imagine, I always played football
Mhm.
until I was 21 years old, more or less. And I think the big event was uh, the World Cup final in 2006
Oh, really?
when Italy won the world title.
Mm.
After that, I started to play football. I was 8 years old, and everything started there. It was my passion, obviously, and I started to study sports science. It was, I think, the only journey, the only possible journey for me.
Okay. So ever since that moment, I can't imagine how your country winning the World Cup. I'm from Colombia, so we have a little bit of trouble winning that. You guys,
Absolutely.
you
We
guys
have
are
the
from
same problem
Germany.
now.
You guys have 8 World Cups between both of you guys, Germany and Italy, but I cannot say that. But I can imagine how seeing your country win the World Cup can really be just a motivator for you, just saying, okay, I wanna do that. And of course, then you mentioned that sports science and then going the professional route was the only way to go from there. And now that you're talking about Matteo, what like tell us a little bit about that transition of going from Italy, like football in Italy, and then going to the other side of the country, to the Middle East, right, to the UAE. What was involved into that transition, and then we can start talking about how football works over there in the UAE and a little bit of the differences.
Yeah. To be honest, I decided to move here because I was looking for a step forward in my career, I can say. Because in Italy, because the football culture is so developed, it's also so difficult to reach the highest level. Okay, so I worked some years in non-professional football, both youth sector, but also first teams. I experienced in both, and then I saw this opportunity. I applied for the job. I had the job interview. They chose me. This is I was looking for something like that because I think it's a step forward. Here is a professional world. Everything is so professional, even if you're not always working with I don't know, pro athletes. You're always professional. They put a lot of money in everything, even if in no professional words. So it's for sure a step forward in my career. Yeah, I'm really happy to join.
Definitely. I mean, it's just the fact what you just mentioned. I think it's so important. Of even if it's not at the professional environment. I mean, we can tell, like in Italy, I imagine you guys see this as well. But for example, in Colombia, you might be at the level just below professional, and you're not in the best conditions. You perhaps don't have the best equipment, so it really puts a lot of constraints in what you can, a lot of problems in what you can do in a training environment. But I imagine in Dubai, in UAE, as they're putting so much investment into it, then even the guys that are not professionals are getting the best equipment, are getting the best resources. And I can see how that maximizes what you can do as a coach, right?
Exactly. I'm not speaking about technical level, because even if maybe the average technical level is higher in Italy compared to UAE, it's completely another world. The fields, everything. For example, imagine that we played the DOFA League. This is his name, and we compete against other academies, and you don't play on in your own field. You go. The field is always the same. I think Real Madrid Foundation is the owner of our field, or the field where we play. Imagine that is indoor with air conditioning. So because, for example, you can imagine the weather is today was 30 degrees. It's
Imagine.
February, no? So imagine that the field is indoor, air conditioning. It's completely also the fields and everything, buildings, completely another world. Even if the technical level is not the same like in Italy.
Definitely.
You mentioned you also coach senior teams already. What do you think is the biggest difference between senior and youth teams? Is it easier to coach the old guys or the younger kids?
I think for sure it's easier, at least for me. Then I'm not speaking for everyone. For me, to build a relationship with youth teams, because maybe when you are young and you arrive into working with a first team, okay, with seniors, they have to study maybe 2 months, 3 months. If you are good, if you're not good, okay, they will study. With younger kids or younger guys, I don't know, 14 years old, 16 years old, 18 years old, it's easier. Also for me to build a human relationship. Last year, I had an experience with under 19. It was, imagine, the B team. Okay. After the first team, there's the under 19. I started as a fitness coach with them. Then 2 or 3 months before the season ends, the head coach was fired, I can say, and they asked me to be the head coach of the team. It was really an incredible experience. It was beautiful. I think it's something that I never forget. Okay, so that was my with under 19. It was the best stage in my opinion, my career.
Yeah, I mean, you get that high performance level, but then you also get that youth level in which you can build more relationships, right?
Exactly. You can balance the technical work at an high level, the fitness coach at an high level, and the human relationship.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And Matteo, now going more about, like, we started talking a little bit about that difference between Italy and UAE. Last time we talked, you mentioned that there's a very interesting difference between the academy model and the club model. So just wanted you to expand a little bit more of that, like let us know, and then also let the people know, like, what are the main differences and what does each model involve.
Yeah, I have to introduce the concept of academy to better understand the difference because I think it's important. Imagine that here in UAE we have I think 10 clubs in Division One, so only 10 clubs, 10 professional clubs in Division One. Um, in our academy, imagine that we have 2,000 kids. Uh, Dubai is, I think, 4 million citizens. Okay, 4 million people living in Dubai. So for imagine all these people wants to reach 10 clubs. This is no, it's very difficult. So they want a service from you, a professional service. They want to develop as player, to have the chance to reach the club. Okay,
Mm.
because the club pays you to play. It's also for is they want to have the chance to work in football, just like us, maybe. I want to be a coach. I want to be a fitness coach. They want to be players. So here in Dubai, there are a lot of academies. You can imagine the most important clubs like PSG, Ajax, Juventus. Every team has his own academy. They send coaches from, I don't know, from Italy, from England in Manchester City Academy, France in PSG Academy. So the academy receive the methodology from
Mm.
the club. And so you have to think that kids and their parents are like customers. They want the service. They want to see them develop. Okay, they expect to develop. So they are really obsessed with the final score of a match, for example.
Mm.
This is something that I found in this culture. For example, in Italy, okay, maybe you lose. I mean, also under 10 team. If they lose, okay, maybe they complain. Why I'm losing? I'm not developing. Okay, even the parents, they are customers.
Mm.
They want to see them develop every day. In
Yeah.
Italy, I think that it's a bit different. Uh, Even if you lose 3, 4 matches in a row, maybe the parents understand, the kids understand that it's a long-term process. It's not about winning or losing one match.
Yeah.
Here, every day, you have to show them that something is happening to them
Mm.
because
Mm.
they want to arrive. They want to arrive there.
I
So
see.
this is
I see.
the
It's like,
difference.
it's almost like in Dubai, because of this pay to play model, it's almost like they're the ones demanding something from you, whereas in, let's say, in Italy, it's the same in Colombia as well. It's almost all the time either the club or the coach demanding something from the players. So it's like the demands switch a little bit. You always get this constant pressure from the parents because they want to see the results for what they're paying, right?
Yeah. And sometimes they don't even pay to compete. They only train. They only pay for trainings
Mm.
sometimes. You can imagine because in usually on Sunday we play matches. Maybe I can say the 10% maybe of our players participate to matches. The other 90% is not interested. They just want to have training sessions. They don't want to compete.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you're the one deciding
Uh,
who's playing,
Sorry.
and you, the coach, decides who's playing, or based on the performance of the players.
No. At least starting from this year, it's not like that. Maybe in the past year when I was not here, maybe, but everyone can play, but they are just not interested. Once I was speaking with a mother of a kid, she told me, but what the competition can give me. I was explaining her. In my opinion, is the first step to develop because you face opponent sometimes stronger than you, and only facing stronger opponents you can develop. But sometimes they don't understand the meaning of the competition. Their decision, no, I respect. I go over.
Yeah,
We
I
have
mean,
36 teams this year. There are no academies with this amount of teams in the world Dubai. No one is like us. So it was also a record for us. So imagine if also the 90% of all the other kids want to participate. Just like I told you before, we have 2,000 kids. It's really
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing though. Like kids not wanting to participate. Because I mean, for me, from my perspective, it's
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
that's the
Crazy.
main reason for which I want to train, right? So, I mean, now that you're talking about that, you mentioned it a little bit, but now that I know that that's a problem, perhaps for some people that they don't see the value in competition from you coming as a coach. What do you see? What do you think for all the guys watching of why is competition important? Why do you want to have some sort of competition growing up?
I want that they participate in competition because, just as I mentioned before, uh, you face stronger opponents than you. You cannot only playing with your teammates in your training field. You have to go outside, look what is outside, and as I told you, we have very big names in PSG Academy, uh, Ajax Academy, Juventus, Inter Milan, Inter, players from every nation all around the world. Europe, in Italy, France, England. You can find everything in Dubai. Different playing styles. So, in my opinion, it's a huge chance. Uh, in Italy, you cannot do that, no? You don't have every week a team from England, a team from France to face. But everyone has to, no, makes his decision.
Definitely, definitely. And now that we're talking a little bit about competing, perhaps a little, maybe one of the reasons for which you guys have this model is because the guys want to make it pro, right? So, how does the pathway to pro football look like for a guy that's in one of your academies? You just mentioned how hard it is, but how does exactly that process look like?
Basing on our methodology, we have uh, a long-term program. Okay.
Hmm.
Then, of course, everyone is training with kids of more or less the same technical level.
Hmm.
So you can imagine we organize our methodology with periods of, I don't know, from 4 to 8 weeks with one topic. So we focus, for example, from 4 weeks to 8 weeks on finishing. So we want to give this package to this player. So I expect we start from the easiest drill to the most difficult. We want that at the end of the 8 weeks, he masters that ability. Okay. And then maybe at the end of the year, if we have contact with professional clubs, they ask us, I don't know, 2 kids for trials. No, we send our 2 best kids or 3 best kids of that age, and we hope we are working for that. No, we are working to send them in professional clubs for their development. So we are happy if they join professional clubs. For example, as I told you, imagine a period of 8 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know, focus on finishing. After that, we give this package. Uh, After that, we change the topic. Okay, you have to, if you register for the full year, you receive a full year package.
Mm.
Then if they can register for private sessions, we offer also this service. So one coach, one player, one coach or 2 players, you can choose to focus on the area that you need to improve. I don't know, you have a good passing, a good decision making, good ball carrying, but you need to improve your shooting. We work on that.
I see. I see. I see. So it's more like a player development program which you're trying to maximize their ability so then they get to that goal, right?
And then how often does it happen that the actual academy reaches out, or like big academies, like the actual PSG Academy, reaches out to your academy?
If a player goes to
Or like
another
not from
academy,
PSG, but let's say the PSG Academy you play against, how often do they ask for trial players? Is it like half a year, or do they send scouts over?
you mean to choose the players
Yeah.
from other academies? No, the other academies have more or less the same service. If, for example, if you have a good player in PSG, maybe it's more difficult because PSG is a big club, but maybe they can send the player to the PSG headquarters. No, they send to Paris. Maybe for us it's easier because Al Ahly obviously is a big club, but it's not PSG.
Yeah.
So it's easier. We have Juventus Academy, same problem. It's more difficult. No, you have to be really a really good player, really a good player to go to Turin
Yeah.
and have a trial with Juventus. But I think they are interested in Emirates Pro clubs. No, they have the clubs here. They want to go there.
Yeah.
They're not. Then no, obviously it depends. For example, I don't know, 80% of our customers, 70 maybe 70% are Egyptian people. So maybe their dream is to go to play with Al Ahly, maybe. Maybe if I have an Indian kid, it's not his dream, no? But maybe he wants to join a professional club here in Dubai.
Yeah.
So
I
it depends
see.
also on that.
Yeah. I see. I see. And Matteo, now transitioning a little bit on how the training of the team goes. I know you have experience in, of course, in a lot of different age groups at the youth level, but just to kind of like put us in context, what are the main difference when you're coaching, let's say, an under 10 team and when you're coaching an under 16 or under 19 team, right? Like, what are the main differences in your approach, in how the training session looks like?
Yeah, obviously, you have to find the right way to build a relationship with them, no? Maybe with younger kids, I use game-based training, focused maybe more on funny games. Because if they get bored, they are not putting the right intensity. With under 16, under 19, you can make it more even more boring. I'd say, but obviously you don't want to give them a boring training session, but it's different. Here, at the moment in our academy, we do everything with the ball, everything. Never without the ball. We never work without the ball. Even with under 16, under 19, even if you want to give an aerobic work, it must be always with the ball. So you can imagine from A you pass to B, then you move, you reach the C spot. Okay, always like that, but always with the ball with technical drills. Because the main topic here is the technical and tactical topics. Then of course we try to work also on aerobical power, strength, but always with game-based situation. Because then obviously on Sunday you have to face top opponents, so you have to be physically prepared.
Yeah.
In Italy, I work in a completely different ways. I was free to decide also everything. Yeah, maybe I have to follow a technical program. And I used to propose even works without the ball, obviously, gym-based programs, a bit, not so much, because if you're not in a top level club, it's difficult to propose gym-based programs.
Mhm.
Aerobic works without the ball, repeated sprintability, everything that you can imagine without the ball. Here, only with the ball,
I see. And
because they want to improve their technical skills. This is their main focus.
yeah, and from you coming as a fitness coach, I mean, I just remember my fitness coach who loved sessions without the ball, and I used to hate them. But from you, what do you think about that approach of just using the ball? Do you think there's a place for everything? Do you like that approach of always trying to implement the ball, or do you think there's still a need for some sessions that don't involve the ball, that are outside of the field context? What are your thoughts on that?
In my opinion, it's not possible to do everything with the ball. This is my opinion. You struggle even if you're working with a Division One club. If you don't have the right tools to monitoring everything, because imagine when the technical level is not so good, you maybe propose a small side game. Okay, then mistake with the first touch, the ball goes away, the intensity goes down. You cannot monitor in that, no? It's something that is not up to you. It's up to the players. A technical mistake let the intensity go down. This is just an example. You can calculate everything. You can calculate square meters per players. No, I want to work on speed. So maybe I propose a 2v2 with 200 square meters per player. Then mistake with the first control, the ball goes out. What do? You cannot handle it. In maybe in a Division One club, if you have GPS, you know how many meters they run at, I don't know, high speed over 25 kilometers per hour. All these things, you have all these tools. Maybe you can manage the situation. In no professional levels, it's not possible.
Definitely.
No professional levels. So I used to work only without the ball. Then clearly I want to work on high speed, maybe 2 days or 3 days before the match. I want to work on high speed. Okay. The 80% of the efforts is without the ball, because I know how fast they are running. And then I propose a 2v2 with, I don't know, 200, 220 square meters per players. So imagine, I don't know, full field 2v2 or 3v3. So the field is so big, they can reach the highest speed as possible. No, this is just an example. But in my
Yeah.
opinion, you cannot do everything with the ball.
I really like that, and I truly agree. Because I mean, as players, of course, we always want to be touching the ball. We always want to do everything with the ball. But now that you're saying that, when you implement the ball, you're putting a problem, you're putting a constraint, you're putting something that might take the focus away of what your goal is. So let's say if you want to focus on speed, as you said, then if you put the ball, if somebody messes up, well, speed goes down. So you're not optimizing for what you want to do. So just being more efficient with what you're doing. If you don't put a ball, you know that the only focus of that player is going to be top speed, and there's nothing that's going to get on their way. So I just never thought about it that way, of the ball being a constraint, and just leaving the ball for when you want to work on technical aspects, on ball aspects. But when you want to do other things like aerobic, like speed, maybe it's better to sometimes just isolate that ability, just so you don't have
Yeah,
anything else that might take the focus or the good uh, performance of the exercise away. Yeah, I
yeah,
really.
yeah, no, it's like that for everything. You speak about aerobic works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to keep the heart rate more or less 60% of the maximum heart rate. Okay, the ball, you do a mistake with your first touch, the ball goes away, you have to wait for the ball, take another ball, heart rate goes down. You go, no, out of focus.
Definitely,
So you cannot work with the ball everything.
de-
Every
definitely.
This is my
And
opinion. Then if you
I,
are the best fitness coach in the world, I don't know, maybe you can do it, but
When
I totally, like, fundamentally makes sense to me, though. I
when
mean,
you, when you see the pros trend, they do everything with the ball because the technique is perfect. But then still in preseason, you can still see them running without the ball because then they want to reach their maximum capacity.
yeah. And Matteo, now that you were talking about things done without the ball, what are some of the? I know you worked as a fitness coach as well. What are some of the non-negotiables, or like things that young athletes should be doing, young players should be doing in terms of strength training? What are the things they should be looking at?
I start to work with strength training sessions. I think starting from 14 years old, more or less. Then obviously you give uh, body weight training, we can say. So even if I work with under 10, I propose them hurdles. Okay, maybe one leg jumps. Okay,
Mm,
because this is always my idea. In my opinion, football is a one leg sport.
mm-hmm.
So I try to always to propose the 80, 70, 80% of the work with one leg jumps. No, you can imagine because all the situation that you can find in football, maybe not all, but if you have to change directions, if you have to run fast, all the work is on one leg. You cannot find so many situations with two legs on the ground. So I try to work with one leg jumps, plyometry, starting from 10 years old also. But I mean, introducing tools, repeated sprintability, um work in which you can accumulate lactate. Okay, starting from 14 years old. Because also I don't want to keep time. I want to let them play with the ball when they are kids.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable. Repeated sprintability. You mean gym-based training or in general
Just
strength training?
strength training as a whole. Doesn't have to be in the gym.
Okay. Change of directions with recovery, like maybe you can imagine 30 seconds. So not full recovery. If you want to increase the ability, the repeated change of direction ability, Then if you want to give them an high effort, maybe you propose them change of directions with more recovery. So maybe 1 minute, 1 minute and a half. This is how I think. Repeat sprintability, top speed drills. I introduce all the tools that I can bring on the field. So making net balls, bars, everything that I can bring on the field. In the gym, one leg works. I like. And obviously, if you want to do propose a squat and everything, obviously it's something that you have to do. But for example, one leg RDL, all these kind of workouts, obviously, it's something that I propose. All you can imagine. 80, as I mentioned before, 80% of the work I try to do with one leg.
Okay, make it sport specific. Making it sport specific. And in what age would you recommend to start with that strength training?
With squats?
Which age would you start recommending starting with the training, the strength training?
Starting from 40, something that I used to do. When because this is something in Italy, you start to play 11-a-side at 14 when you're 14 years old. So when they move to the bigger field, I propose them bigger trainings. Okay, this is the idea. But if you want to approach squats and weight training when you are 12 years old, it's not a problem. It's something that I recommend to do.
Okay, I see. It's also like following that idea of you want to be efficient with the time that you're having. So, like as you mentioned before, when you're younger, you want to make it a little bit fun, like a little bit more fun. But then when they're older, you can focus more on that high performance aspect. And how can some what injury prevention benefits can young athletes get from training that strength at that young level? Because I can imagine how some guys may think that they should wait until they're like 16, 17 for them to start training weights. But what injury prevention benefits can they get from training that strength training at a younger age?
With younger, you mean when they are kids or when they are?
Yeah, like as you mentioned, like let's say 12, 14, because we said like strength doesn't have to be gym based. It can be body weight, it can be the plyometric training. So as soon as, like you mentioned, even 10 years old, like what benefit can they do from doing all these types of drills?
For injury prevention, I think that they are able to perform workouts that they will be important later. Okay, so they approach a new world, they learn how to do the technique that they can use later. Because when it's difficult to first maybe that a 12 years old kid has an hamstring injuries. Okay, it's difficult. So you're not doing that for injury prevention. You're doing that, yeah, okay, maybe later. They learn how to do a RDL, a Nordic hamstring, I don't know, whatever. They learn how to do it, and it's something that it will be useful later when they are 16, 18. So it's to train them on how to learn the technique. Okay, when they are 12 years old, maybe it's only about performance. This is my opinion. Plyometry, how to run. Obviously, you practice, you exercise, you train plyometry to push them to run faster. This is the meaning.
I see. Yeah, and I really like the way that you put it of treating strength training at that young age, not as a something that you get results for immediately, but something that is preparing them for the future loads, for the future exercises. If they know how to do an RDL now, then that's going to help them for a lot of the movements and a lot
No,
of the
sure.
loads that they're going to do in the future, right?
Yeah, if they start to approach the weight training session when they are 18 years old, it's too late. They have to learn the technique. You waste maybe 1 year only to teach them how to do it. So if they start to do it earlier, then they will be able. When they are 18 years old, they are ready for heavy weights.
Mm.
If you
Yeah.
start that they are already 18 years old, it's a problem. You cannot.
I'm in college sports and we have lifts with the team, and you can even see guys like that. We have 2 or 3 guys, and you can definitely see they never lifted actual weights. And it's just the technique looks so off.
Yeah, and it kind of slows down your development process, because you cannot focus on loading it, because as Matteo, you mentioned, you first have to focus on learning it. So like the earlier you can learn it, well, the more you can maximize those gains when you're at 18 or 19, so you can start like actually developing that speed, that power, that strength that you get from the weight training.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same problem that
Oh, sorry. When the technique is wrong, it turns from injury prevention to injury causing. If there's wrong technique.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the same problem that you face maybe with first team seniors. If you have to teach them the technique, how can you put the intensity?
Definitely.
Even change of directions. Even if you see mistakes in change of directions, it's difficult to put more intensity. So you have to focus on teach them all these things when they are young, so you can work on them when they are older.
Definitely. It's the same thing that happens like when you're playing actually with the ball. Like you first have to teach them the technique, so then they're able to play at a high intensity. They first need to know how to control the ball before making them do a high velocity drill, because then it would just be a mess. It would not, like you wouldn't he wouldn't be able to do it.
Also coordination abilities without the ball. Something that I always say: if you are not able to run, how can you run with the ball? You can see maybe kids 10 years old, their running technique is completely not correct. You have to go 3 steps back and fix their running technique, and then you can go forward.
And Matteo, you just mentioned the change of direction. What is something you look at young kids, what they can improve in change of direction, like maybe a common mistake they're doing?
Something that I can see very often, maybe they push with the wrong foot. So maybe they want to go to the left, pushing by left leg.
I see.
Just to give you an easy example, no? So they are not pushing in a proper way.
So you want to push that with the other side. So if I'm going to the left side, I want to push with the right leg. Yeah, perfect.
And also often, I think every coach is saying, like maybe in lower level, saying something different. Like some people say, when start off like agility, like start with small steps or start with big steps. What do you think is
also maybe they stop, they completely stop, and then they start again, they accelerate again. No, when I used to say I work on plyometry before, it's something like plyometry. So you put you make a step forward, okay, not with short steps. You don't have to short this step. Leg forward, you push with your leg almost straight. We can say you don't have to flex. It's not about muscle. It's not muscle strength when you change direction. If you want a fast change of direction, you don't have to flex your knee and then extend again. Okay, something like plyometry.
You
So
just
you
want
keep
to
your
reduce.
angle, and you push. It's not
Okay.
about flexing the knee and extend again. You lose a lot of time, a
You might
lot of
want
strength.
you might want to do the opposite, no? Like reducing that contact time with the floor, right? With the ground.
Exactly.
Okay.
Contact time must be milliseconds, not one
Hmm.
second with your foot on the ground, and then you start again the run.
I see. I see. And Matteo, now, I mean, you gave us a great rundown of how training looks like in the youth sector in UAE, but actually like everywhere and what can apply to a lot of places. Now switching it up a little bit, I wanted to ask you, you work in a place where, as you mentioned, you gotta have a lot of guys coming in from different places. You're also from a different place from where you work. So how do you handle communication as a coach in an environment where there might be people that talk different languages or just come from different cultures? How do you handle such an important topic like communication in a team?
Uh, Imagine that in our academy, as I mentioned before, 70-80% of kids are Egyptians, and because we are an Egyptian club. So maybe more or less than 90% of coaches is Egyptian. So the Arabic language is really used, so used in with the kids. Obviously, I speak in English with them. In Dubai, we can say that it's not like in Italy. Maybe you start to study English when you are 6 years old. From the day they entry for the first time in the school, they start to play to speak in English.
Mm,
So in Dubai, but I'm not only working in Dubai. I also work in Sharjah, is another emirate.
mm,
There the situation is a, a bit more difficult. We can say in Dubai they are almost mother tongue. In Sharjah is completely different. Sometimes you struggle to let them understand what you're saying, but we always have with us Egyptian coach, so they can translate in English, sorry, in Arabic
mm.
language. If something is not fully clear, okay, they help us a lot. Uh, Other academies, the word is completely different. If you go to, I don't know, Real Madrid Foundation, you can find maybe 90% of the keys from Europe. So they speak in English, they speak in Spanish. In other academies is different. Every academy is there are some academies, for example, that are almost fully Indians.
Mm.
Uh, so every academy is different.
I
I
see.
try to manage the thing speaking in English. Also, I'm trying to also develop to learn something because this is my first experience abroad out of
Yeah.
Italy. So
Yeah.
I have to learn how to communicate 100% of my knowledge, how to pull out the
Mm.
100% of my knowledge in English, and it's not so easy, but I'm working on that.
Definitely.
Uh, I try to manage the situation speaking in English, but as I mentioned, everyone understands here in
Okay.
Dubai.
Okay. Okay.
Here in
Perfect. I
Dubai.
mean, we can talk from that because I mean we're both international students here in the U.S. and we've developed a good level of English, right? But it's like what you mentioned at the beginning. You may be thinking about so many things in your language. It's hard to put it out in a language that isn't your mother tongue, especially when you're talking about like more technical stuff, about like more specific things. So I can imagine, but I mean, you developed all the ideas really well. So, and as you mentioned, if a lot of the guys speak English as well, I can imagine how that might be something that makes the job easier for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also, we have to, as head coaches, we have take care also of the relationship with the parents, with
Mhm.
customers. So you are continuing, you are always facing new challenges, language challenges, because you have to explain where they can develop, when they need more improvement. No,
Especially with the
it's
parents, you have to be aware what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
maybe wrong word could be bad
yeah,
with the parents.
uh,
No,
yeah,
I can,
uh, and what I was saying, I forgot.
Well,
That it's also a different English
mhm.
compared to, I don't know, the American English or the UK English, because maybe you have people from India, people from the Arabic world. So maybe they used to say something, they just translate it like copy and paste from their language. Is something
Definitely, definitely,
a lot of
definitely.
confusion.
It's a completely different English.
and I can imagine on the pitch when some stuff gets hectic or like it's even for me at the start, like I'm a center back, so I have to communicate from the back. Sometimes I was just saying stuff just to say something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes I let them play. I let them speak in Arabic on the field,
Yeah,
because if you can understand what he's saying, okay, no problem for me. You
definitely,
just
definitely.
go.
I like that, just giving them a way to communicate. And Mateo, just to finish it off, there's a lot of investment going on in the Middle East area. Where do you see football going on that area, like in the future years? How do you see the future view on football in the Middle East?
Well, actually, the Saudi Arabia for sure is investing a lot. Uh, they they how can I say, they have a lot of superstars now. Uh, Starting from Cristiano, maybe it was the first one, no? I think Cristiano
yeah.
Ronaldo, Sadio Mane, a lot of players. They are trying to do the same thing also here in United Arab Emirates. Now, for example, the last one is Balotelli.
Mm,
He's arrived, I think, 1 month ago. Uh, I think that is the starting point is to bring superstars from Europe. If they continue, maybe, and if they can maybe build a competition only in the Arabic Peninsula. So Saudi Arabia, teams from Saudi Arabia, teams from Qatar, I don't know, Bahrain, like a Champions League. Okay, we have Champions League in Europe. If they keep like that, calling superstars and organizing like a Champions League, maybe the future is also here.
I see.
And if they continue, even if they don't arrive to that level, but if they continue to invest, to put money on professional workers, coaches, fitness coach, and everything, we will be forever attractive, no? Because you can find here something that maybe you don't have at home in Europe.
Hmm.
So the technical level for workers will always be high.
I see.
Then, if they continue to invest, to put money also on players, they will receive attention also from European customers. You can sell your product, your match also to our European customers.
I see. I see what you're saying. And I mean, just lets us know that the future is kind of looking bright over there. So for every kid or every like player looking to develop, that might be a good place to go because of that infrastructure that you mentioned at the beginning. Like even at the academy level, you know that you're gonna get high level equipment. So yeah, things are apparently looking bright in the UAE. And Mateo, I mean, you just gave us a great rundown on how things work, not only specifically on the UAE where you're working, but then also just in the youth level as a whole, how to approach a training session, like the different phases that you have, and how to work outside of the field. So it really gave us, but then also the guys watching it, a very good understanding on how to make the best out of your development. So Matt said, do you have anything else to say before we go to rapid fire?
No, I really enjoyed it. I think it's very interesting to always get like insights into the systems. Like we
Yeah,
always see like the football like, on 453 they're posting so much stuff because of Cristiano Ronaldo, and also like all the money is getting invested, but then seeing like the background scenes and how it's going in the academies, I think
definitely.
like Emilio said, like the future is bright because you have the funding. Also like that, for example, a lot of Spanish games like are played in Dubai.
Yeah.
Spanish teams, yes, we have Real Madrid Foundation. That Real Madrid club is the owner of Real Madrid Foundation, so it's directly no from the Real Madrid. And
Yeah.
then there is Barca Academy,
Okay.
and I think no
Yeah.
more.
I mean, the fact that they're putting their academies there just shows like the projections that they have in that area. So yeah, things
Also like,
right. Yeah.
like the Spanish for the, like there's some actual games like I think Barcelona, like sometimes Real Madrid, the actual first team plays in Dubai.
Yeah, and a lot of teams do their preseason over there as well, right?
Was better weather.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know because I arrived last August. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know because it's so hot during summertime. So I'm not sure that they are coming. Maybe
Okay.
during the winter. Maybe during the winter. Yeah, I can understand even the reason
Yeah.
why. Because if you come here on December, it's like 20 degrees during the
Great
day.
weather. Great
So
weather.
it's the perfect conditions, no?
Yeah.
But if you come in July, it's like 50 degrees.
Oh,
It's so hot. Not possible even walking down the street now.
yeah.
Yeah.
For
The
every
most sites we got at the World Cup in Qatar, you like there were water breaks every 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's for that reason they did the World Cup in December, because it wouldn't be possible. And for everybody watching it, because I mean, we might see a lot of American people. We're talking about Celsius, because people here they work with Fahrenheit, so they might think, oh, 50 degree Fahrenheit, but that's cold. Yeah, we're talking about Celsius. So let's go to the rapid fire questions, right? So Matteo, what are the three main things that you see in a new player coming to a team? Like, let's say a new guy arrives. What are the three main things that you're looking for?
For sure, how it touches the ball. First thing, uh, mentality, body language, we can say during the match, during the game. And as a fitness coach, is physical attitude. No, if he's a quick player, a fast player, maybe he's not fast, but he's always running. No, it's physical attitude. You can say physical abilities.
I see.
And what do you think are the worst habits young players have nowadays?
What?
The worst habits young players have nowadays.
The worst habits?
Yeah, of young players.
How question? It depends also maybe on like Dubai, Italy. It's different. Uh, the worst habits. I'd say like a boomer. They are always on the phone. No, too much technology. No, I don't know really. Uh, I I I don't think that they are so different from my generation, to be
Okay.
honest.
Okay. That's good. That's relieving a little bit. And Matteo, a big topic is being benched in a team, right? Being in the bench. So, and a lot of who the player is uh, tells you a lot from their reaction to being on the bench. So, how should a player that gets benched, that doesn't play, react to being on the bench? What should they ask you? Like, what should be the actions following that?
maybe they want to understand why, or sometimes maybe they don't even want. Maybe they know why, but they just don't accept it.
And what are like the ideal thing? Like, what would you advise every player to do if they get benched? Right? Not just what's the most usual thing they do, but what would you advise them to do to show interest to the coach and just for them to get better and be in a
So
position.
what I want that they show me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that.
But if they are a bit angry, it's okay because they take care of the team. No, it means that they want to play. They are focused on the project. And then obviously when you give them a chance, they have to show you. Even if they are angry with you, I want to see that they understand that you are giving them a chance, and when they go in, no, or even if they don't go in during the training sessions, they put in all their efforts, and this is what I want to see. I don't
Perfect.
want to see people that are not taking care. They are lazy. No, okay, I'm not playing, so next training sessions, I'll not be fully focused. This is what maybe you should not want to see, no?
Definitely.
So showing up and showing that you care about if you're playing or not. And then we talked about injury prevention before. What is one exercise every kid could do that would avoid getting injured in a young age?
I think we spoke really a lot in last years about Nordic hamstring and all the eccentric work, no, for hamstrings, and it's something that is really really important. But I'd say also exercises for hip extension, in my opinion, because it's the glutes, right?
Yeah.
It's not working good. It's not taking care of part of the load. Everything goes on the hamstring, no? So I think we should give more importance during the extension of the hip. I mean, we should give importance also to glutes.
I really like that approach. I think it makes a lot of sense though, and we're gonna get a little bit spicy here, but what is one thing you wish you could tell the parents but cannot do it because they're paying, because they're clients?
Sometimes they should learn just to watch the match, enjoy, and let people work. No, I think
Definitely.
here mostly than in Italy. Let's say here more than in Italy.
Letting the coach do the job.
Yeah, just drink something and don't.
If a teammate is yelling at another teammate for a bad pass, do you think it's positive or negative?
Okay, thank you. We can say it's positive because it takes care of what is happening to the team, no? But if the teammate, his teammate, then when the ball arrives to him, is still thinking about what he said before, this is affecting the team. So I always try to explain that mostly to the kids, because I think that is something that when you're a kid, it's normal that you do. Maybe when you get older, it's something that you try to avoid as a player. I mean,
Yeah,
but I
so
can see that it's something very common, so common with kids.
In our team, we always talk about productive criticism.
yeah,
Like of course you can't help it. You're going to be mad in a game, but also like saying what was wrong. That's just saying I was a bad pass. Like maybe play it in my back foot instead of my front foot.
yeah, it's not just looking at you cannot say anything or you can say something. It's more about how you say it and what you say, like what's the intention behind it, what's the content of it. Like you always want that criticism to make the other person better, not to bring him down. And
Yeah,
Matteo,
but I think that yeah.
you go, brother, you go.
I think that feedbacks always must arrive from coaches because even if I decide to don't give a feedback, I'm already giving a feedback. Okay, if I want to don't say anything, I'm already giving a feedback because maybe I know that it's a technical mistake. Then 9 on 10, this player is able to pass this ball correctly with the proper tech. Maybe is once in the lifetime, no? That he does a mistake. So if I don't want to give a feedback, not another player cannot give a feedback on my place.
I
This
see.
is what I think.
I like that position of not trying to make every mistake big, because I mean if it's a player that doesn't usually make mistakes, then you know that it isn't his issue. It's just part of us being a person and knowing that we're gonna make mistakes no matter what. So I like of not just picking every mistake and trying to say something about it. And Matteo, kind of like working on the same route after a bad training session, because they're inevitably gonna happen. What is your approach? Do you punish them? Do you correct them, or how do you react to a bad training session?
Mm, I I try to understand what I can obtain from a punishment, what I can obtain from complaints. Okay, if I know that maybe that group needs to receive complaints from me because maybe they they didn't practice good training session for I don't know 3 4 training session in a row, maybe they need complaints. I'm always thinking what I can obtain doing that with this behavior. Okay,
I see.
and I think I choose the what I think is the best solution. So if they need complaints, because maybe the first time after a bad training session, I try to say, "Don't worry, maybe next time it will be better," something like that. But if uh, I can see that their attitude is not good, they put 3 4 bad training sessions in a row, maybe they need complaints, and
Yeah.
I will do it.
Yeah, it's not just complaining and punishing for the sake of it. It's always looking to get something out of the players. Yeah.
And what's one thing you look for in a captain? What's the first characteristic you're looking for when choosing a captain?
Uh, Body language, mentally strong. He cannot be the best player of the team, but for example, now I'm following an under 10 team, and I chose one guy. Is to be honest, is the best player of the team, one of the 2 3 best players of the team. But his body language is always at the team service. Is never selfish.
Mm,
Uh, this is something that I want to see.
I see. I see. Yeah, and that's a misconception. Captain doesn't mean best player. There are some
No,
other things that go into it. And Matteo, just to finish it off, you've said so many valuable things, but if you could leave with one piece of advice to every young athlete, which one would it be?
with one.
One piece of advice to young athletes.
Okay. Uh, maybe I don't know if a young athlete can understand, but in my opinion, they need to focus on thinking speed of thinking, because this is the difference between a pro footballer and an average footballer. It means that if I ask to a Division 3 player to I don't know to shoot on the target from 30 meters and put the ball to the top corner, he's able to do it. what's the difference between the Division 1 player and the Division 3? That maybe they need 1 second less. Okay, they need alpha seconds to do it. Meanwhile, a Division 3 player needs 1 second. Okay, or for example, to recognize a passing line. Maybe a Division 3 player is able to recognize the passing line, but he needs 1 second instead of half a second. So I try to propose situational game-based drills. Okay, always to work on decision-making speed, because this is the difference from between a pro athlete, a pro player, and an average player.
I love it.
I think.
I love it. I love it. As you
So
imagine.
the speed of thinking, the time between the first touch and the pass, the first touch and the shooting, they need to play fast.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not their ability to do the thing, is how fast can they decide to do the thing, and how fast can they recognize that that's the right thing to do. I love it, man. I think it's just a great way to finish it off. As I said before, I really appreciate you just sharing all your knowledge, your experience, man. And I wish you the best. I know you've been in UAE since August, but I wish you the best from what's coming. And I just wish that we can speak again and we can have another conversation, because I definitely enjoyed this one, man. So I really appreciate it. And good luck tomorrow, eh? Good
This will
luck
be a
tomorrow.
huge honor. Thank you. Thank you.